Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Shelley Moore Capito.
This is a production of West Virginia Public Broadcasting.
Support provided by Marshall University, with more than 100 degree programs offered in 4 locations and online. More about the Marshall family at marshall.edu. Segra, providing fiber-based communication solutions. Segra, freedom to grow. More information at segra.com.
Good evening. I'm Eric Douglas, the Interim News Director for West Virginia Public Broadcasting. We're coming to you live from the House Chamber for Governor Jim Justice's State of the State Address. Before we went live, various dignitaries have filed in, including the Supreme Court of Appeals. Now the members of the Senate are filing into the House Chamber and taking their seats. We've been told that before the speech there will actually be an honorary of former Speaker of the House, Bob Kiss. He passed away last November. Let's listen for a moment.
The chair recognizes the lady from the 49th, Delegate Summers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I ask unanimous consent to return to the 7th order of business for the purpose of introducing and considering a resolution.
The lady from the 49th asks unanimous consent to return to the 7th order of business for the purpose of receiving and considering a resolution. Are there objections? No objections are heard. Clerk will please report the resolution.
House Resolution 10, commemorating the life of Robert S. Kiss.
The lady from the 49th.
Mr. Speaker, with us today we have Melinda Kiss, wife of former Speaker Bob Kiss. Escorting her are former Speakers Chambers, Thompson, Miley, and Armstead, Senator Charles Trump, and the Raleigh County delegation.
Lady of the 49th.
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that the committee reference be dispensed with and that the resolution be taken up for immediate consideration and put upon its adoption.
The lady from the 49th, Delegate Summers, asks unanimous consent that the committee reference for House Resolution 10 be dispensed with and that the resolution be taken up for immediate consideration and put upon its adoption. Are there objections? No objections are heard. All members will please rise as the clerk reads the resolution. All guests in the galleries will please rise as the clerk reads the resolution.
House Resolution 10, commemorating the life of Robert S. Kiss, devoted father and husband, member of the West Virginia House of Delegates, Finance Chairman, Speaker of the House, West Virginia Secretary of Revenue, longtime practicing attorney, and distinguished West Virginian. The members of the House of Delegates hereby express their profound sadness at the passing of one of their own, the Honorable Robert S. Kiss, former Speaker of the House of Delegates and a distinguished West Virginian. Robert Stephen Kiss was born in Elizabeth, New Jersey, and raised in a military family. He lived many places growing up and received a BA degree in economics from The Ohio State University in 1979 and his JD degree from The Ohio State University Moritz College of Law in 1982. Upon graduation, he moved to Beckley, West Virginia, which he called home, to begin his career practicing law, remaining a West Virginian by choice for the rest of his life. He was a devoted Catholic and attended St. Agnes Catholic Church in Charleston, West Virginia. Bob Kiss, as he was known to members and staff alike, began his public service in 1988 when he was first elected to the House of Delegates from Raleigh County. His education in economics, finance, and the law, combined with his keen intellect, so impressed then Speaker Chuck Chambers that he was appointed Vice Chairman of the House Finance Committee his second term as delegate. 2 years later, he was appointed Chairman of the Finance Committee, a position he held until he was elected Speaker in 1997. Bob married the former Melinda Ashworth of Beckley, West Virginia. Those who knew him well knew of his devotion and love for his family and his belief that the greatest achievement in his life was his marriage to Melinda and the birth of his two sons, Carter and Cameron, of whom he was immensely proud. He dedicated his life to them, and in his family he found his greatest joy. While serving in the House, he made many close friendships among the membership and staff, and no one could ask for a more compassionate and kinder person to call their friend. While most people recognize that he was probably the smartest person in the room, and he was also so quick to laugh, had a wicked sense of humor, and loved being on the receiving and giving end of practical jokes. He often mused that if a memorial resolution was ever written for him, it should conclude with, "and he loved dogs." During his first term in office, Bob quickly learned the full extent of the state's grave financial crisis. The state was literally on the cliff of financial bankruptcy. Over the next 18 years, his vision and hard work were large contributing factors to righting the ship of state. Bob's determination to find a way forward and his innate ability to work well with others across the political spectrum were instrumental in the legislature's work to address the state's overwhelming pension and other debt, a failing workers' compensation system, a medical malpractice insurance crisis, and annual budget deficits. The legislature's accomplishments during his tenure included the funding for roads and highways, water and sewer projects, school and jail construction programs, a children's health program, and higher education tuition scholarships, assuring the prompt payment of tax refunds, providing for the payment of pension and other unfunded liabilities, restoring affordable workers' compensation and medical malpractice insurance, and many other financially sound practices we often take for granted today, not the least of which was the creation of the state's rainy day fund. Over Bob's career in the legislature, the credit rating of this state was slowly restored to the solid condition it maintains today. Many of these solutions were initiated in this House and were a direct result of his vision and his ability to convince the House membership to take action, although at times politically unpopular, but necessary and the right thing to do. But Bob should also be remembered for his refusal to move politically popular ideas forward, despite immense pressure from either or both sides of the aisle, because of the grave fiscal impact the state would have endured. While Bob's comprehension of complex facts and ability to create solutions was second to none, he never took personal credit for this legislature's accomplishments. He always respected, worked closely with, and gave credit to others for what this body was able to get done during his tenure. He truly embodied what it meant to be a public servant and endeavored to put aside political differences and personal opinions to best serve the people of West Virginia. After 18 years as a member of this House, 10 of which serving as Speaker, equaling the longest time ever served as Speaker in the history of West Virginia, Bob retired from public office and returned to private law practice in Charleston. However, in 2013, at the behest of Governor Earl Ray Tomblin, Bob returned to public service as Cabinet Secretary of the Department of Revenue, where he directed the state revenue-producing agencies, and he served until 2016. Bob may not have been loved by all, nor did he care to be, but he was respected by everyone. His vision and his role in guiding the state through some of its most dire financial situations of the last 100 years cannot be overstated. If there is a history of our state written of these times, he will always be much more than a footnote. His timeless aspirational challenge made to this House during his first Speaker's acceptance speech in 1997 still rings true today. Each day as we recite the prayer and pledge to begin our sessions, if we are always cognizant of those who come after us, if we make their economic and social conditions better than ours our primary concern, and if we cooperate on a bipartisan basis in that pursuit, then perhaps we will not be remembered as a brief, shining moment or lost opportunity and promise. Perhaps we will instead be remembered as that generation of West Virginians which finally laid the foundation which made the state of West Virginia the best place to live, work, and raise a family on the face of the earth. And finally, he loved dogs. Godspeed, faithful public servant Bob Kiss. Therefore be it resolved by the House of Delegates that the members of the West Virginia House of Delegates hereby publicly memorialize the life of the Honorable Robert S. Kiss and collectively mourn his death while remembering that he leaves behind a legacy of success and accomplishment. That this House of Delegates proclaims that although the Honorable Robert S. Kiss has passed from this earthly life, he will continue to live here in the hearts of his family and those who knew him, and that this House expresses the thanks of a grateful state for his service and contribution for making this state a better place. And be it further resolved that the Clerk of the House of Delegates prepare and provide a certified copy of this resolution to his family, and be it further resolved that the Clerk of the House of Delegates also cause a certified copy of this resolution to be placed in the Division of Archives and History.
Ladies and gentlemen, the question now before this House is the adoption of House Resolution 10, commemorating the life of Robert S. Kiss.
Roll call.
Roll call vote is demanded. Is the demand sustained? The demand is sustained. Those in favor of adoption of House Resolution 10, commemorating the life of Robert S. Kiss, will please vote aye. Those opposed will please vote no. The clerk will prepare the machine. Clerk will please mark the votes of those escorting our guests to the chamber today as having voted in the affirmative. On that question, there were 89 members voting in the affirmative, 0 members voting in the negative, and 11 members absent. Majority of members having voted in the affirmative. House Resolution 10, commemorating the life of Robert S. Kiss, is adopted.
That's current House Speaker Roger Hanshaw delivering the resolution to House Speaker Bob Kiss's wife and preparing for photos. Here in just a minute, the group will leave, and then the governor will make his way into the House chamber.
Chair recognizes the Sergeant at Arms.
Mr. Speaker, the committee heretofore appointed to wait upon the governor.
Mr. Speaker, your committee heretofore appointed to wait upon the governor has the distinct honor and privilege to announce that His Excellency Governor Justice is present and ready to address the joint assembly for which we have been called together.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct privilege at this time to introduce the governor of the great state of West Virginia, the Honorable Jim Justice.
If you're just joining us, once again, this is Governor Jim Justice's 6th State of the State address. We're coming to you live from a joint session in the House chamber of the House of Delegates, the West Virginia Legislature. This speech was originally scheduled for 2 weeks ago, but Governor Jim Justice, the night before he was set to give the speech, tested positive for COVID-19 and had to reschedule until tonight.
Oh, okay. Come on, y'all, sit down. Enough's enough. I know you just went through a really special time. A great man that we lost as our Speaker of the House. A great friend of lots and lots and lots of folks. And so with all of that, you know, we know that he served our state in an incredible way. And we're really proud, really, really proud in every way. Now, let me just tell you this. We've already had a few little mishaps, and I'm going to just sit here and talk with you tonight. Now, just think about this just for a second. It is an incredible time to be a West Virginian. And I'm going to talk to you a lot about a lot of things here tonight. But the one thing that is absolutely for sure true, from time to time, not very often, almost never, you may have found that I've been a minute or two late here and there. Now, I know you're already giggling, and I love that because I really believe that the good Lord gave us all the ability to smile and to laugh, and the journey's tough, isn't it? It's plenty tough. Now, in all of that, you know, whether at times I was 15 minutes late or 20 minutes late or sometimes even later than that, I've never really been 15 days late. But I can tell you that I am extremely grateful that you're allowing me to come late. I absolutely promise you with all my soul that I couldn't believe what happened, to tell you the truth. You know, for those of you that have been in contact with this or have had loved ones that have dealt with it, it's not any fun. And we all know that. But we also all know that we got to live with it, don't we? We got to figure a way to live with it until the really smart people figure it out and it leaves us forever. Now, with all of that, I would say to you so many different things, but there is so much to discuss here tonight, and I say adieu, here we go. I'd like to first and foremost recognize my family. I really don't have any idea how all the people that are around me all the time, none of them tested positive. That really doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but it especially doesn't make sense to me that my dear wife, Kathy, was with me the entire time, and she didn't test positive. Now, I've accused Kathy of being a carrier, to tell you the truth, but nevertheless, our First Lady, Kathy Justice, please. I've got my daughter Jill. She's out of the time where she can't go out, but she's still in the time where she has to wear a mask. And I've got my beautiful son, Jay, with us. It's really the other way around. I've got my beautiful daughter, Jill, and my okay son, Jay. But nevertheless, I want to introduce all my cabinet. I want you to really just bear with me just 1 second and just know just this. These people do incredible work. They are superstars. That's all there is to it. You see, I've surrounded myself with superstars because I'm a real believer. I am a real believer that absolutely if you're willing to share the credit and the talent and all the responsibilities and everything, you can create winners all around you. I'm going to just go through as quickly as I possibly can. Our Secretary of Commerce, why don't you hold your applause until I get done? Our Secretary of Commerce, Ed Gaunch. Our Secretary of Administration, Mark Scott. Our Secretary of the DEP, Harold Ward. Our Secretary of DHHR, Bill Crouch. Our Secretary of Homeland Security, Jeff Sandy. Our Secretary of Revenue, Dave Hardy. Our Secretary of Transportation that wears a tie a little strangely, Jimmy Riston. Our Secretary of Veterans Assistance, Ted Diaz. Our Secretary of Tourism, Chelsea Ruby. Our Secretary of Economic Development, Mitch Carmichael. Our Secretary of the Arts, Culture, and History, Randall Reed Smith, who can dress a little unusual at times too. Our Adjutant General of the West Virginia National Guard, Brigadier General Bill Crane. Our Chancellor of West Virginia Higher Education Policy Commission, Sarah Armstrong Tucker. Now you can clap. Thank all of you. Thank all so much. We've got our Supreme Court with us. Our Chief Justice is John Hutchinson. Now, I have to tell you this before I go any further, and I just looked at the name and I just think of this. We were practicing in the Raleigh County Armory. At that time, it was called the Armory. Now it's the Raleigh County Civic Center and everything. We were both playing on Woodrow's team. I was a junior. John was a senior. John was right in front of me. I was playing right behind him and everything. They were going to get the tip and everything. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, he wheels around and rams his head right into my nose. When he does, blood is going everywhere as I have a broken nose, and the coach continues to scream, "Get off the damn floor, Justice!" So nevertheless, our Chief Justice, John Hutchinson. We have Justice Evan Jenkins, Justice Elizabeth Walker, Justice Tim Armstead, and Justice William Wooten. If y'all give them a round of applause, please. Our constitutional officers, and I've had a lot of fun working with these guys, really and truly, and I think of them as really, really dear friends. You know, our Attorney General's not with us tonight. Patrick's off doing a lot of really, really important stuff, and we hope that he's going to come back and bear a lot of fruit. But our Attorney General, Patrick Morrissey, our State Auditor, J.B. McCuskey, our Secretary of State, Mike Warner, our Commissioner of Agriculture, Kent Leonhardt, and our State Treasurer, Riley Moore. Give them a big round of applause, please. We have so many different people here. We have our Senate President right behind me, Craig Blair. Our Speaker of the House, Roger Hanshaw. You know, I haven't seen Joe, but I see Shelley here and everything. And Shelley, thank you so much for coming and everything in every way. I haven't seen any of our congressmen or congresswomen, but I thank them from the bottom of my heart. Absolutely, please, a big round of applause for all them. We've got college presidents here. You know, our WVU president, Gordon Gee, and our newly president of Marshall University, Brad Smith. And I don't know where they are, but please give them a round of applause. Last but not least, and this gentleman right here surely deserves a ton of credit. From almost day one, we've wanted to get this accomplished. We now, in West Virginia, have a newly appointed Intermediate Court of Appeals. And these people are Tom Scar, Dan Greer, and Donald Nickerson. Please give them a round of applause, too. Okay. It's been 2 years. The pandemic's been tough. And you know the toll that it's taken on every single last one of us. I've read every name. It's been really, really bad. That's just all there is to it. You know, we're great people, and we're resilient people in West Virginia. And I know in my heart we're going to get through this. We still need to all stay together and pull the rope together as much as we can, and I want to talk to you just 1 second about that. But I'd like you to all stand and us bow in a moment of prayer. We have now lost 5,697 people. We'll just do this in silent prayer, but please, please, remember all those that we've lost. Thank you so much. I want to recognize my team through this. Our coronavirus czar, Dr. Clay Marsh, our general that was our general for a long time with the National Guard here and has gone on to do more and more and more great stuff with us, and that's General Hoyer. Dr. Amjad, who came on kind of semi in the beginning, middle of this thing, and what a job she's done. And Secretary Crouch, and all the people that have worked right with them. You know, some way, somehow, you can say a whole lot of things about this, but some way, somehow, we've pushed the right buttons over and over and over. Could they have been better? Could they have been perfect? Well, maybe. Maybe. But in all honesty, you know, they sure absolutely could have been a lot worse. I think all the times about the time, you know, when we had to close something or we just stayed rock solid and said, no way, no way, no way. And we moved, and we some way, somehow got through. Really and truly, and I mean this with all my soul, I'm nowhere close to smart enough to have made the decisions that we made. There's no way. I'll promise you, I have said this a billion times over. God above has helped us in this great state in many, many ways. If you don't believe that, then you're really, really a misguided individual, in my opinion. Because really, when it boils right down to it, as elderly as we are, as close as we are to population, and as absolutely so many different diseases and illnesses that we have as our citizens, this could have absolutely wiped us out. It could have been really, really bad. Now, in all of that, please give those people that have worked side by side with me a giant round of applause. They've done great work. I want to introduce one other group because I think this is a tremendously educational deal that is happening right here, right now. You know, I happen to have my basketball team that's sitting right up there. A bunch of talented young ladies that are on their way, that are smart as they can possibly be. If y'all would stand up, please give them a round of applause. Now let's get through a lot of business, okay? We are now going to create or have created an emergency management crisis fund. We did it with $10 million. It wasn't all the money in the world, but we did it out of one of the last tranches of monies that we had from the CARES money. And we've done this for our EMS workers. We've done this to try to retain or recruit, you know, good people. These people have given so much. You talk about people that have run to the fire, they surely have. Now, I want to just touch on one other thing real quick, and I want to just tell you from my heart some real important stuff to me. And you may think, well, that didn't mean anything or that wasn't anything. But you all watch what's going on in Washington all the time. I don't know any of us here that could possibly say that it's good stuff. This country is so much better than that, it's unbelievable. Don't fall prey to that. Please be as staunch and great as you are all the time. You know, whether you believe this or don't believe it, buy into it, don't buy into it, I don't really care. I know the very reason that I ran for governor. I've never wanted anything. I've never wanted a thing. You see, a long time ago, our forefathers, that's what they did. They stepped up. They lost a lot, didn't they? They lost a lot. Well, I'll promise you from the standpoint from a financial trip, it's surely not been the most rosy financial trip for Jim Justice. But I can tell you just this. I did it for the right reason. I also would tell you something else. I didn't want to just be your governor. I can remember when Governor Moore was running, and in some of his ads, you know, as he was running for re-election, said, re-elect a good governor. I don't want to be a good governor. I want to be the greatest governor you've ever had. And I want to be that every single day. And I would challenge you to do the exact same thing. But we cannot do it. We cannot do it disrespectfully. We can't do it throwing rocks at one another. We can't do it trying to one-up each other all the time. There's so many people that depend on us, it's unbelievable. Let me just say one last thing. You know, I don't get to fly very often, but I fly from time to time, whether it's in my plane or the state's plane. And on a clear day, and I've said this over and over, I'll be up at 20,000 feet or 25,000 feet where you can see for miles and miles and miles and miles. And you know what I think so often is just this. All those people, for as far as I can possibly see, depend on me. They depend on you too. It's breathtaking when you really just think about it. The responsibility is really enormous. Please, let's don't be Washington, D.C. We're better than that. And if we don't watch out, we'll really, really, really get in trouble with that. I promised you a rocket ship ride, did I not? In 2017. I told you we were on the pad in 2020. I'm going to tell you for real, there can't be a human being in here that doesn't believe that it's real now. It is absolutely real. This state is setting record growth after record after record, record surplus after record after record, record unemployment as far as the greatest levels of the lowest unemployment in history. People are moving here from 2010 to 2019, a number that I can't imagine. 43,000 people left the state of West Virginia, and we know right now for the first time in forever, they're moving here. They're finding out the very thing that I have said to you over and over and over and over. We are that diamond in the rough. We're the diamond in the rough that absolutely can do all kinds of greatness. I mean, I believe in our people beyond belief. I believe in the fact that we've got these incredible 4 seasons and our proximity is off the chart, and with all that, our natural resources and on and on and on. It's an opportunity beyond belief. Tourism's exploding. I could go on and on and on. We're building road after road. Businesses are expanding and businesses are coming. It's amazing. It is an amazing time in West Virginia. I'd say to you over and over and over, let's continue to propagate more and more and more good. I'll promise you we have the chance to do just exactly that. Last year I came to you and asked you to fund basically another secretary, did I not? I asked you to create the Department of Economic Development, did I not? And I absolutely asked you to allow Mitch Carmichael to be our secretary, did I not? And to focus on job recruitment into our great state. And you just think about this. Mitch Carmichael's here somewhere and Mike Graney, and I want them to stand. Hold your applause just 1 second. I want you to think just about this. In 2021, more than $1.1 billion was invested in West Virginia by 39 different companies through economic development efforts and activities. In the calendar year 2021, the first year of the Department of Economic Development, total employment in West Virginia has increased over 36,000 jobs. Over a 3,000% increase, the lowest unemployment in the history of our state today. Now look, when I came to you and say, let's fund this, it's pretty dadgum good investment in my opinion. But please give them a big round of applause. You know, they went fishing, did they not? You know, and they caught some big, big, big fish. You've already heard about these announcements, and I wanted to bring them to you, you know, on the State of the State 15 days or so ago. But Owens and Minor is somewhere here, and we have, and I know I'm going to mess up pronouncing this, but Ed Perseca is here, and oh, I can't do this one. This one is Hall. I'll never do it. So anyway, Ed and whomever. I want to also thank for the work of getting them here, Albert Wright at WVU. This company is going to absolutely be able to help us along the way with supplies in the medical industry and a lot of different things. 125 employees, we thank them and thank them from the bottom of my heart. The total investment will be close to $50 million, and that's great. So thank you so much, men. Thank you. Then along came Green Power the motor company, did it not? I think Mark Neslin is with us with Green Power tonight. They're going to go into South Charleston and start off with 200 jobs with the hope of some point in time growing to 900 jobs. From the standpoint of Owens and Minor, you realize they are a Fortune 500 company coming to West Virginia. It's amazing. So wherever Mark is, please, Mark, stand. And then just think about this. If you've gone fishing, you know, you've caught 2 world-class tunas, maybe blue marlins, you know, and absolutely we're so proud to have you here, and we know that you'll love this state beyond all good sense. But along the way in that, we kept fishing, did we not? And we talked and talked and talked to these people, and I did everything but tell them that I would dance at their next 6,000 weddings. And along came Moby Dick. And boom, we got it. We absolutely have so many things to be thankful for. But we've got Nucor in West Virginia right now. And if you could give them a monstrous round of applause, David Patuplian, Gable Samosky, John Ferris, and Ben Pickett. Now, believe it or not, the biggest investment, hands down, that has ever come to West Virginia, but the biggest investment that Nucor has ever made. Can you imagine a Fortune 150 company? It is unflat believable that it's coming to West Virginia. And the spin-off of this is going to be job after job after job. It's exactly what we've absolutely been working for forever. Also, the really important fellow that I want to thank there is Chris Bean. Chris with AEP really stepped up. AEP really stepped up. We should be very, very thankful for them. So, Chris, I saw you just a second ago. Thank you so much. Okay, more of the business. Years ago, now I've seen this. I've seen this so many times. I've seen this, where really smart business people tried to do just this. We had so many industrial sites that were just mothballed all over Kingdom Come. We believed, we'll build a site and they'll come. Build a field and they'll come. And they didn't. And they didn't. And we had to be nimble, and we had to move, and we had to change our techniques of the way we were going after people and everything. And today, I am directing our Secretary of Commerce and Economic Development as well to find us more sites now. So that you guys have got to get to work. That's all there is to it. We need more sites. I absolutely believe that if we're truly the diamond in the rough, we have got to stop right now in West Virginia having one person go hungry. That's all there is to it. We don't need people in our state hungry. We need to absolutely fund our food banks and absolutely do any and everything we possibly can do to make sure we don't have West Virginians go hungry. Now I'm here to tell you that a group of people that we should be so thankful for, it is off the chart, and that's our National Guard. They have done so much in so many different areas. I can remember in the flood of 2016 wading in the mud with lots and lots and lots of them and really beginning my knowledge of just how good they really are. I've seen them through all this pandemic. I've seen them through lots of storms and lots of bad stuff. I've seen right through to their soul just how good and how blessed we truly are. And I see today that they're backstopping our hospitals and doing everything they can to help us again today. Not only that, and this is the neatest, first of all, you got to know this. I love kids. I don't go on vacations. And Kathy can probably kick me for that. I don't go on vacations. I love West Virginia. I love to hunt and fish and spend time with kids and be right here in this great state, and that's what I do. That's why this story is so meaningful to me. The Mountaineer Challenge Academy, and then along came the Mountaineer Challenge Academy South, did it not? Imagine this. Kids that were having a tough time. Kids that were really going the wrong way. And lo and behold, we have a graduate now of Mountaineer Challenge Academy South. His name is William Farkas. He's 17 years old. and he just got appointed to West Point. His parents are right here with us tonight, Jay and Rhonda. If you'd stand, I don't know where you are, but, oh, right here. Now, I'm not one to spend a whole lot of time being critical, but I truly believe in telling the truth. And when somebody's going the wrong way, I don't believe that you should just pamper them. I believe you've got to tell them, you're going the wrong way. That's all there is to it. I really believe we don't get out of holes that we don't know where we are in the hole. I really believe that the Biden administration is absolutely driving me at least crazy. That's all there is to it. I think the situation today with inflation and crime, and especially what is going on at our borders, what happens internationally with Afghanistan and whatever it may be, if that doesn't trouble you, then absolutely, again, I think you're really not thinking right. But in all of that, this border situation has caused a big-time problem. Fentanyl. Over and over and over. It's killing people in West Virginia right now. So tonight I am directing our Department of Homeland Security and also the Fusion Center to do everything in their power. I don't know exactly what all they can do, but to do everything in their power to communicate across borders with every state, all the way to the Texas border, all the way to whatever border it may be, to do any and everything that they can possibly do to help stop this terrible scourge, because it is killing our people. That's all there is to it. I would also welcome anything that you chose to come up with that said for a drug dealer that comes into this state and peddles stuff that is going to kill our people. Absolutely, you can't come up with anything that is too strenuous for me. There's no way. You just can't do it. That's all there is to it. Our Jobs and Hope program's doing all kinds of neat stuff. We have now touched 1,540 individuals that have now gone out and gotten jobs in West Virginia, and there's 1,600 more people that are in the program right now. That's really good stuff. We want to recognize a young lady here with us that has battled an addiction and a problem for 25 years. Her name is Katie Everly. Imagine this now. She, out of nowhere, got into our Jobs and Hope program, and lo and behold, of all things today, you know what she is? She's a heavy equipment operator. And you know where she's working? She's working for our West Virginia DOT. She's going to get a promotion here right soon, and she's with us tonight, and she's on her way. She's with her children. She is absolutely on her way with a new life. A life away from this terrible addiction. Where's Katie? Great job. Okay, we want more people back to work in West Virginia. We had a few extra dollars from the remaining CARES money, the original CARES money. We started a thing called Jobs Jump Back Program. Basically, it is just an incentive to be able to get people to go back to work, even though our unemployment level is super low, get more people back to work because our businesses need them, and they need them really bad. We're going to give those people $1,500 if they can stay on the job for 8 weeks. Doesn't sound like much. Doesn't sound like much at all. But really and truly, we've got to some way get them back, because they're sitting on a porch somewhere right now, a lot of them that are absolutely willing and able, and we need them back. Now, the federal government's doing their thing, but I think what we should do is try any and everything we can possibly do to get them back. We're also hiring a resiliency officer that's going to work in our office that is going to be able to work all the programs to help them every way you could possibly help them with all the different areas of program that we can help them with. This program really has worked in Oklahoma. You know, I'm not going to promise you that it can work here, but I surely think it's worth a shot. Here's really neat news. Our old fund, and all of y'all probably know exactly what old fund means. Our workers' comp old fund. At one time, we had a $3.5 billion deficit in this state, and for all practical purposes, nobody in their right mind wanted to come to West Virginia any business. Today and tonight, I can announce now the deficit has been completely eliminated, and we have a positive balance of $57 million, and it's over. I am delivering to you tonight, for the 4th year in a row, for all practical purposes in every way, a flat budget. We don't have any reason to dip into the rainy day fund. We absolutely do not have any reason to grow government. We absolutely need to watch the store every single day. You will absolutely see a flat budget with some minor increases for pay raises or whatever it may be, but we can cover that through our surpluses. I encourage all of you. We absolutely looked after the store as best we possibly could with the CARES money. Now we have the ARP money. We need to solicit all the good ideas. We need to work through all the good ideas. We need to be super respectful to one another, and we need absolutely to manage those dollars in the very best way possible. It is another real opportunity for West Virginia. We have government reform going on, and I am a real believer in streamlining government and cutting out waste and doing all the different things we can do. You know, I am proposing bills to further streamline our Department of Arts, Culture, and History, DHHR, the DOT, and the Division of Corrections. And I want to show you just something, and I don't know where it is and everything, but where is it, Jordan? Okay, somebody's pointing. Are y'all going to bring it out here? Oh, here we go. I want y'all to look at this right here, and you will not. There is no way that you could possibly believe this. This is the flow chart in the state. Y'all can stand right in front of me. That'd be good. No, if y'all stand right here, this would be real. It goes all the way over here. This is the flow chart that shows the process of getting a contract through our state purchasing department. Now, I want you to look at this, and I want you to imagine that was created so we would not waste. Honest to God, that's the truth. That's why it was created, so we would not waste. It's the beatingest thing I have ever seen. Toyota's been an incredible partner to West Virginia, have they not? And the Toyota production support systems, they're surely one of our business partners, and the Toyota production support systems, a world leader in efficiency, has agreed to help us streamline this and try to come up with some way that it isn't this. All right, y'all don't need to just stand there and get your pictures taken all night. Y'all need to leave. We need a new lab in West Virginia. We absolutely need a new lab and need it really bad. We need a new lab, and we can put it all in under one roof, and we can have a public health, a law enforcement, and an ag lab under one roof that's state-of-the-art and state-of-the-art beyond belief. We can use ARP money to fund this, but we desperately need a new lab for our medical examiners, our state police, and our ag department. Please, let's absolutely move forward and get this done. Woo. Man, y'all clap a lot. Okay. Okay, our state police. Now just think about this. We need to commit dollars to locality pay. That's all there is to it. Our state police continues to have dwindling numbers. We have had 3 cadet classes since I walked in the door, and who knows how long before that we didn't have any. Now we're on the brink of having our 4th cadet class, and we're still way underwater, maybe to the tune of 700 or 800 state policemen. We absolutely need to move forward with our cadet classes. We need to move forward with locality pay, and we need to absolutely support the very, very people that support us. How again, and I don't mean to step on anybody's toes, but how again could anybody have come up with the idea in life, we're going to defund the police? Where on God's earth did that come from? Think about what tourism is doing in the state of West Virginia today. You know, we have a Secretary of Tourism, Secretary Ruby, who's done an incredible job. Chelsea's stuck on all the time and absolutely just lives, eats, and breathes ways to bring more and more and more folks to West Virginia. I have been an absolute believer and a supporter through and through. Without any question whatsoever, from the very first day that I walked in this door, I have been a believer in diversification and a believer in tourism being an absolute tremendous leader in West Virginia. I've said over and over, and you may think, oh gosh, why does he say these things? I've said, you know, any frog that's not proud of his own pond is not much of a frog. And forever, we must have not been real proud of our own pond, not proud enough to put some dollars into it. You just think of the investment that we've made in tourism and what has happened in this state. It is unbelievable. And you know what I'm telling you? Jim Justice, the business guy, he's telling you just this right now. You are still just getting the parsley around the outsides of the plate. The meat and potatoes are still there to come. Absolutely, if there's ever a place on this planet that people would want to come to if they really understood what we're all about and what we have here, it's tourism, and it's West Virginia. So think about this, whether it's rafting or ATVs or our parks or, good gracious, all the different things for travel, all the different things that are happening. Think about all those publications all over the place. They're now ranking West Virginia the top 10, the top 25, whatever it may be. You know, tourism magazines that, to be perfectly honest, most of us had never even heard of before. We couldn't imagine that they would pick West Virginia, but they're all picking West Virginia. It's unflat believable. So Chelsea, please stand. An incredible job, incredible job. I talk about that frog and being proud of his own pond. And I'm going to tell you this, and I promise you to God above, this is a fact. You know, A lot of people would sit here with teleprompters and read to you, and I've never done that. You know, I speak in real common language, and I talk about the frogs, and I talk about the baby dog and everything else under the sun. And really and truly, you know that I'm talking to you. Just like we were sitting in your house and I was talking to you. I'm not talking down to anybody. I don't believe in it. I absolutely believe that of all the frogs, I am the proudest. Now, there may be somebody that ties me for the proudest, but I love you and I love this state more than good sense. So many different people throughout all the different land and everything have thrown rocks at our natural resource industries, our coal miners, our gas workers. It really makes me mad. The reason it makes me mad is all that these people have given. Good gracious sakes of living, they have given so much. And we owe them so much. Same way with our great factory workers, our craftsmen, wherever it may be, and all the different people, or teachers, all the people that are doing the licks in this state, and people have thrown rocks at them. I frankly don't like this either. You know, and I'm going to probably get in trouble about this. Well, I'll just get in trouble. I've been in trouble a lot. But, you know, I don't like the fact that whether it be our financial institutions or whomever it may be, that they come out publicly and say, oh, no, we don't believe in making loans or whatever to the energy industries. We're not going to do that. Well, I think it should be their prerogative as being private business people without any question. But for God's sakes of living, I don't know how you exist in the state of West Virginia and turn your back on the very industries that have made this state and still continue to do so. So I thank them. I thank all those, whether they be our healthcare people, our first responders, and I truly love the fact that I am the proudest frog. So I'll just go with that. The Beckley Veterans Nursing Home, we've talked about it for 700 years. And truly, we were right on the verge of being able to pull this off. But when we got the quotes all in, the quotes came in a little higher to pull it off than what we wanted to have happen. So we've got to make a decision. We can phase it down. We can phase down from 120 beds to 90 or 80, and maybe we can get by. Now listen. And I'm going to tell you this as point blank as I can tell you. These people have given us every single thing we have in life. Absolutely, we have got to find the money, and I expect you to do that with us, and absolutely go arm in arm. We got to get this done, and we got to get this done right now. That's all there is to it. Okay, I'm going to keep moving here. We are starting a new thing that is really spawned from Ascend, and it's, you know, that Brad Smith and Elise have come up and helped us so much with that program. Can you just imagine that program? You know, Brad, and you know this. We had 10,000 applicants, I think, and 2.5 million visits to our website. Unbelievable. Through the combination of you guys, through the combination of WVU, through the combination of our tourism folks and everything else, 2.5 million people visited us and said, we have an interest in West Virginia. We got to build houses in West Virginia, people. That's all there is to it. So I'm trying to try some way to create something called Build West Virginia, some level of tax credit. A tax credit for builders, to incentivize them to try to go out and build homes. Again, I thank Ascend for all that they've done, and we have a young lady with us tonight that is one of those that has come to West Virginia. Of all places, she came from an 800-foot 800 square foot apartment in Chicago, Illinois. Her name is Quintina M. Engine, and I think I'm pronouncing this one correctly. Her boyfriend, her dog, and herself, all of them have moved now to West Virginia. They supposedly love it. Baby dogs talk to the dog, and the dog loves it too. So where is she? The DNR police are with us tonight. Bobby Kales, our colonel's here. The 125-year celebration for how many years they've been with us and protected our natural resources in this state, and now they've got a new motto. It's called Protecting the Wild and Wonderful. So where are you, Bobby? Colonel, where are you? Please, y'all stand. We're semi-losing an incredible friend, an incredible guy that's done an amazing job with our DNR, Steve McDaniel. Steve has done absolutely wonders, and Steve and I bingo off one another like you can't imagine. You know how much I love the outdoors. And you know, really and truly, I'm broke up a little bit now, and to be perfectly honest, a little chunky too. And with all of that, but I have honestly almost walked up and down every mountain in this state just about. I've chased a bird dog all over Kingdom Come, and I've chased every wild turkey there could possibly be just about in this state. I've crawled on my belly countless hours, days, weeks, absolutely, with a little 5-foot fly rod with a fly that I would shoot on the water in a 3.5-foot wide little native brook trout stream to catch a little native brookie that big that I thought would look like a tarpon. I love this state. Steve McDaniel, the job that he's done is unbelievable. We've added 85,896 new acres in West Virginia. The hunting and fishing licenses are off the chart. We have absolutely stocked our fish the right way or made an ungodly improvement in that and brought more and more and more folks to West Virginia. We have spent $151 million on our parks. The absolute occupancy in our parks is off the chart. We are 52% higher income in our DNR today than we were the day I walked in the door. Steve McDaniel is here with us somewhere, and he deserves the lion's share of all the credit wherever he is. Steve, God bless you, man. Thank you for all you've done. Let me tell you just this. There's no question we can make education better and better, can we not? All the time. There's no question that we put a stake in the sand right off the get-go and said, make education our centerpiece, did we not? Things started to change. Our image started to change. We have done many, many things, and we're on a journey to make it better and better and better and better. Tonight, I want to propose really 3 different things. I want to propose that we make the penalties for somebody that's a school employee that abuses a student so tough that they will know that I am sitting on their chest. And that's going to be bad, isn't it? Unless y'all are wanting to be here all night long, you're going to have to slow down on the clapping just a little bit. I want to propose tonight to the legislature that we fully cover the cost of college classes to our high school students. I think we can do that, and then when they leave high school, you know, and go to a community college or a technical school, they're absolutely covered. But with that, we need to encourage more and more and more of our students to continue on with their education. I also want to propose a bill to make computer programming and coding classes mandatory in middle and high school. All that you'll see really soon, and this just helps us in every way for the next generations to come. We have a young lady with us tonight. A young man with us tonight. He is the Teacher of the Year. His name is Brian Casto. Brian is an 8th grade teacher that teaches West Virginia Studies at the Milton Middle School in Cabell County. Absolutely, it is amazing what great work that our teachers do every day. But also, we have our Service Personnel Person of the Year, and that's Kathy Miller. Kathy is a cafeteria manager at Wayne High School in Wayne County. Absolutely, could you give these people an incredible round of applause? Just stay up there just one second. Let's follow it up with special thanks to Highmark, the Horseman Insurance Company, the West Virginia Lottery, Toyota, and all the others that made all this good stuff happen as well. I'm going to ask you now to show your real appreciation so I won't get in all kinds of trouble later tonight. But Kathy has really done an amazing job with communities and schools. And you know me, I'll horse around with you and smile and love to laugh, but I'll tell you the truth, always. And I mean this to my dying soul. If God above was standing right here, and that's serious biz to me. If God above was standing right there, I'm telling you the gospel truth. I've never seen a program, never ever seen a program in my life that works like this. It's unbelievable. And Kathy and I really and truly, in all fairness, didn't know much about this at all. And we just started down this path. We started with next to nothing, and then it's just grown. His communities and schools is the #1 dropout prevention initiative in the nation right now. They've been around for 40 years, and truly it works. The program is in 31 counties in West Virginia. Get this, you won't believe this. 171 schools impacting 70,000 kids. There's story after story after story. It's just truly amazing. But Kathy's got some good help around her. They're adding Marshall County now, and we're on a quest, absolutely together, but Kathy primarily, with all of her great people, whether it be Vicki and Katie, all the different people, Michelle, all the different people that work right with her. But they're on a quest to absolutely be sure that communities and schools in every single one of our schools, before we leave, then it'll be up to you. But if you are me, and you absolutely would make that profound statement, God above, standing right here, and you are in as many schools that I'm in, and you're with as many kids that I'm with, I've never seen anything work like this. It is truly, absolutely remarkable. So with all that, I would say to you just this. I've got one more thing. We have an individual that was coming here tonight. This young man, his name is Connor Cook. He's a senior at Woodrow Wilson High School. Without any question, these kids really have lost their way. Kids have to deal with so much now, and we all know it. But all the different stuff from bullying to parents and drugs and everything that can be out there that a kid has to face and deal with, all the social media stuff, all the stuff. I mean, my God, living when I was growing up, all we had to deal with is who's going to win, kick the can in the alley that night. I mean, really and truly, it was just a matter of getting up and putting on our school clothes and coming home and putting on our play clothes and then going and playing some kind of ball somewhere or whatever it may be. Kids have so much today to deal with. There was a young man, like I said, his name's Connor Cook at Woodrow Wilson High School. Connor was going way, way, way the wrong way. And there's a site coordinator there. Her name, Erin Boyd. She's a longtime educator, and she's now working with communities and schools. And she recognized that this kid was a bright kid, but on the wrong path. A kid that had given up on school. Now imagine this. Connor today is a straight A student. And what he's doing is unbelievable. He was going to be here tonight, and he became ill. We don't know if he's got COVID or not right now, but he was coming here tonight. But please give Kathy and all these great people a tremendous round of applause. They have done incredible work. Okay, to wrap up the education end, last but not least, I am proposing a 5% pay raise to all service personnel. I mean, all of our state employees, our teachers, our service personnel, all the people in the state of West Virginia that work for the state of West Virginia, rather. And absolutely, I'm also proposing my Inflatocene, which is just a backup for really trying to backstop some of this terrible inflation that's going on and help them out a little bit there, because we can do exactly that. I hope that you'll take that and really seriously consider both. We've got a lot of good folks in our state government that are doing really good stuff. And no, I'm not done. I was going to say I'm almost done. But I've got to just make two or three more things, say two or three more things to you very quickly. What we've done with our roads in the state of West Virginia is totally off the chart. Just think about this. We've got Jimmy Risson with us tonight. Like I said, he wears his tie a little unusual. But Jimmy, prior to Jimmy Bird White, a lot of people have really put in a lot of licks. Again, and I mean it, I give the credit to the good Lord. How in the world could I have possibly come up with the idea of roads to prosperity? Where did it come from? Where in the world did it come from? A lot of people thought, well, there's no way, it'll cost us more money, we'll have to tax more, we'll have to do this and that. You know what we did? We created tens of thousands of jobs. We absolutely put ourselves on a pathway, and lo and behold, it worked. Think about this, as far as the ditches and the slips and all the guardrail and everything else. In 2019, they did 30,000 miles in West Virginia. In 2020, they did 39,000. In 21, they did 47,000 miles. My God, we're going to run out of miles. 1,000 road projects in West Virginia. Before I leave, I absolutely want to see the completion of the Nitro St. Albans Bridge. I absolutely want to see us complete Corridor H, or surely get it way down the trail. I absolutely want to see us try to make every inroad we can possibly make in the Coalfield Expressway in the southern part of our state. And I absolutely, for God's sakes above, surely to God above, we can get the roads paved in Wheeling. I mean, surely we can get that done. Okay, I'm coming to a close here. You'll probably be really proud, maybe you won't, of me as hanging around here to the close, but you know, we together put a real stake in the sand not long ago. We said not long ago, and we need to hold up to our promise. We said we weren't going to stop until we had broadband in every single house in this state. Did we not say that? Now, for crying out loud, we're on our way. We started with $1 billion program. We started down the pathway. We've got lots and lots and lots more to do, but we can do it. And for God's sakes above, let's make it all happen and happen now. Now's the time to make that happen. We've got our people that need that. It'll drive business here. It'll drive so many things here. We need to crawl out of the dark ages a little bit and connect every single person we've got in this state. Thank you so much about that. Now remember what I told you about the good Lord gave you the ability to smile and to laugh. Did I not tell you that early on? I'd like you to do this. I'd like you to take a moment, not necessarily in prayer, but I'd like you to take a moment because we have had an individual retire and we're going to miss him so much. Phil Kabler. Now, so let's just take a moment. Okay, that's long enough. We can move on from there. But nevertheless, on a more serious note, you know, I do wish Phil the best in his retirement, and we're going to miss him more than you can ever imagine. And by me saying this now, none of y'all have anything to worry about. He'll write about me every day now. The last thing I've got is to tell you just this. I know a bunch of you have even already asked about it, but this has been the year of baby dog, hasn't it? And so she's got to come on out here. Come on out here, baby. Come on, baby dog. Look at her. She'll stand up where you see her. I want to just end by just saying this. We're getting through a pandemic, are we not? Y'all can all come up before we leave. I've brought you a flat budget again. Record low unemployment, broadband becoming a reality, tourism exploding. Proud to never ever forget our coal miners and our gas workers and all the fact that we should be so proud of who we are. Record pay raises, communities and schools doing phenomenal work, streamlining and eliminating waste, combating drugs, feeding the hungry. Very, very just the essential ingredients of who we ought to be. Building road after road and surplus after surplus, and made education our centerpiece. And did so, and the world began to know that we are that diamond in the rough that everybody's missed. Now, Drew, if you can hand me baby dog. I want to tell y'all just this, and I mean this. I told you a second ago, easy baby, don't go, you're hung up in my jacket. I wanted to tell you just this. I told you a few minutes ago, I'm your proudest fraud. Absolutely too many people doubted us. They never believed in West Virginia. They never believed in West Virginia that we could do it. They never believed that the Nucors or the Green Power or Owens and Minor, they never believed they'd be here. They told every bad joke in the world about us. And so from that standpoint, Baby Dog tells Bette Midler and all those out there, kiss her honey. God bless you all. God bless you. I told you I'd make you smile. Thank y'all so much in every way. Keep doing it, West Virginia. You can absolutely do greatness, more and more and more to come. Thank you so much. You are an incredible group of people. Don't become D.C. Keep it going. Way to go, West Virginia. Proud of you. Okay, let's go.
That was Governor Jim Justice delivering his sixth State of the State address to the Joint Assembly of the Legislature. The governor talked about a number of bills he'd like to see the legislature take up this session, and ended with a moment with Baby Dog. We cover the legislature each week in our show, The Legislature Today. Please join us Fridays at 6 p.m. and again at 8:30 on West Virginia Public Broadcasting. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Eric Douglas. Good night.
University, with more than 100 degree programs offered in 4 locations and online. More about the Marshall family at marshall.edu. Segra, providing fiber-based communication solutions. Segra, freedom to grow. More information at segra.com.